Hello, my name is Hakon, and welcome back, all you fabulous fighting fantasy aficionados, for yet another episode of playing Creature of Havoc, one of the most difficult, challenging, puzzling, and befuddling books in the fighting fantasy franchise, and in one in which you are a monster rather than a typical hero. Last episode, I started a new game. I wasn't able to finish it because I had to go and make dinner, and so I will continue from where I left off last time. Last time I finally figured out how to understand what people are saying, which was a huge breakthrough, I think, because it certainly led me to a few new paragraphs that I hadn't seen before. Very exciting stuff. So, just to do a quick recap, so you are a monster, but in the beginning of the book, you have no idea who you are, what you are, where you are, why you're there. You do know, because you've read the book, of course, you have a bit of a background story, which is quite a long one in this one. It's 20 pages of background story. And it tells you a little bit about the history from around that area, and of course interesting characters that you may or may not encounter during the book. But you do get the impression rather quickly now that you are in the dungeons, the mines of Jaradan Ma, who is one of the evil wizards of this fantasy world. You are encountering parties of adventurers who are trying to retrieve for the elves something known as the vapors, which are single-use magical items that sort of gaseous beings almost, that bestow certain gifts upon the one who activates them. And it turns out that, of course, this is exactly what you need. First of all, you get the vapor of reason, and then you can make your own choices. Before that, you actually had to roll a die every time you wanted to make a choice, and the book decided that for you. And then you get free will to a certain extent, and you can make your own choices. You can choose to go west or east if you want to. And then you get the vapor of language, which is one I was really struggling to find, and without which, of course, you will reach a dead end where you can't go any further. But if you have the vapor of the vapor of tongues, the vapor of language, you will be able to understand what people are saying, and you will pick up on all the clues that you need. So there are lots of clues to be found in what people are saying, but if you don't know how to decipher the code, it is just pure gibberish. So what I have found so far is there was a piece right in the beginning. You find a piece of leather with writing on it. It doesn't say anything exciting. It tells of somebody being sentenced to go into the dungeons to try to retrieve the vapors. So this is obviously quite a wholesale operation, and it tells you who has the vapor of tongues, or that's the vapor of reason, sorry. It describes the person. And of course, you will have this information in pure gibberish before you even get to the place where you find the person who has that vapor. So yeah. And then the things you find in the dungeon are as follows. So you get the vapor of reason, and can find your way. And then you find an amulet that shows you secret doors and passages, which you will need in two places, as far as I can tell so far. In one of those places, you find, excuse me, a crystal club, which is a special kind of weapon that I presume you will need later for a certain adversary. And then you find, let's see, just see if I can find my map here. Yeah, and then you find, hang on, my maps are not in the right order. That's number 2, that's number 1. Yeah, so you find the amulet, and then you find a secret, so you find the crystal club, and then you find, if you go the right direction, which is something I haven't done until last time, you find the vapor of tongues, which gives you the ability to understand what people are saying, and it's just a simple code. Well, it's a really clever code because it's simple, but yet it's hard to understand what is going on until you know how it works. And then you get a few clues as well. You get a message you're supposed to deliver to someone, someone called Thugraf. I think, if I remember correctly. I'll just double check that if when I get to it. And then you talk to someone from whom you get a ring, which will I can't remember exactly what the ring does. Does the ring help you kill someone anyway? I'll have to look that up again as well to see what actually happens. And I'll just look up those two things now just to make sure I know I'm up to speed and I don't forget what's going on. So you meet a rhino man who tells you to deliver a message to Thugraf at the testing grounds. And the message is Gat Hooley has escaped with a ring to the forest of spiders. And he writes it down for you as well. And then you meet a guy with a ring. I'm not sure if that's not the same guy though, is it? 360, let's see, 366. Where are we now? I thought I'd written something across the page, the paragraph number there, so 360 maybe. Okay, so it says when I come across Daramus, not sure who Daramus is yet. If you come across Daramus, you may use the ring as follows. When you are given the option to grab him and do battle, add 50 to the reference you are on. So that's grab, okay. Okay, so that will help me in that battle. It's a magical ring. So I found those items. And then I decided to go towards the place where I knew there were scrolls in the library. And that's where I left off, because then I had a really long text that I needed to decipher. And I didn't want to start doing that because I had to go and make dinner and it would take me a bit of a time. So the thing is now I can read the code, but it takes a while to read through it. Okay, so I'm going to just get started now. I'm not going to replay there's an introduction to this book, which is 20 pages, as I mentioned. But the thing is that, of course, this is a continuing episode. So if you want to see the what has happened before in this particular adventure I'm continuing now, you have to go back to the previous episode. And if you want to see the introduction, the 20-page half-hour introduction that is to the book, you would have to go to one of the even earlier episodes to see that. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? Okay, so yeah. Boom. Right, here we are on my desk with my supplies ready to go. I've got my book, got my maps, got my character sheet, which is still the active one. I've got my pens, pencil, and dice. Now, you may notice that it seems a bit darker in here today, and that is because I am trying something different. You know how several episodes I keep struggling with the sunlight, and of course, this is now early morning, just as I was setting up for recording. The sun was just rising above the trees and the houses up the street here, and lighting would have been an absolute nightmare as usual. And so I decided to try my night mode, as it were, and cover my window and then see what I can do with that. It is quite dark because I only have one light actually in my room now that I'm using, and that's my desk lamp, which is a daylight lamp, so it's got the right color temperature. But that means that the lighting is a little bit darker than you might be used to. But I'm just trying this now to see how it works. One of the problems with the darkness, of course, is that the exposure goes down, or the sensitivity of the cameras has to go up. So it's getting a little bit grainier, a little bit noisier. At some point, I will probably have to get one more light in at least to do my proper video lighting. At least my green screen is quite even. The thing is, if I put my desk light the way I normally keep it for playing fighting fantasy game books, which is sort of down onto my desk, which is ideal, of course. Now it's a bit darker on my desk. Then my green screen was too much unevenly exposed and there were too many shadows on it. So to compensate for that, I've moved my desk light so that it is actually shining towards sort of the corner of my room up here. And so what happens is that reflects back, and that's basically what is lighting my video now. So it's a reflection of the light. Not ideal, but that's what I had to go with right now. Okay, so I was up at 392 and I was about to read a scroll that I didn't know what the contents were. Let's find out what it says. No, that's not 392, is it? 192, yes, sorry. My writing is on these maps is horrendous, which is good because you want to keep everything a little bit of a secret. So when you look at the map and you look at the number, you may get it wrong. That's a good thing, probably. Right, so once more you pick up the parchment. So what happened was you went into this library, lots of scrolls tied up, and then if you stay, then a demon appears and you're given a choice to run away or to stay. And it turns out that the demon is just an illusion that is cast on a mouse. So it looks like a demon, but it's just a mouse and it's harmless. Right. Unlike the mouse in... which one is that again? Is that Death Trap? No, it's Caverns of the Snow Witch, isn't it? Where you have a mouse that turns into a dragon. Once more, you pick up the parchment and stare at it. The writing is not neat, but you can just about make out the following message. Now, and of course, the code here, the way it works is that each vowel, A, E, I, O, U, I suppose, not Y in this case, is replaced by the following letter, which always is a consonant. So when it says BJP here, that means A, AI, O. Of course, it could still be the consonant. Bio. So it could still be a B. B-I-O. Let's see if I can get a context here that'll help me a little bit. And the spaces are not actually spaces, but if you see a vowel, that is a space, and that space is then the previous vowel, or that vowel that you get in that indicates a space is the same as the previous actual vowel that you've read. So this says biography. Biography of let's see. Biography of Zed, it says. So I don't know, is that Jared and Ma, maybe? Oh, Zed. Oh, it said the Zed Ma. Okay, so biography of Zed Ma. So that's Jared and Ma. That's the head honcho, the wizard. And let's see. Page 93. So biography of Jared and Ma, page 93. Thus came Ma to three B's in a row, to abandon the physical world and take refuge in his own. Refuge in his own. Oh, so in his own world. Yeah, okay. strange strange netherworld, which occupies no space in the world we mortals know. Occupies, okay, so in the strange world that is unlike what we mortals know. So it's okay, so it's almost like he's some kind of, it's sort of going on to some kind of different plane of existence, maybe. So if he's some kind of multi-dimensional creature now, I suppose that makes him hard to kill. A world of illusion in which where hang on, a world of illusion in which where he in which where that sounds a bit weird, where he BPP, that's a bit tricky because it could be, so sometimes it's a bit tricky to read because the consonants can be both, some of the consonants can be both vowels and themselves, in which appears to be he is not. Okay, a world of illusion in which where he appears to be he is not. That's a weird sentence. Anyway, if I read it right. And and a world in which those searching for him would instead find themselves. Okay. So that's okay, that's still quite cryptic, isn't it? Find himself. Find themselves. Yes. He has but one weakness in his new world. and that is a crystal club. Okay, so that's the crystal club I picked up. So the crystal club is then an essential item. It might actually be the only thing that can destroy Jaradan Ma, which may be used to destroy FP of FVFR. Destroy E for destroy forever the gateway between our world and his. Okay, so the club can be used to destroy the gateway. Okay. If at some time in the future you, well, this is the actual clue, the one that is speaking directly to the reader now. If it's sometime in the future, if it's sometime in the future, you believe you have located the entrance to Mars Netherworld, deduct the page number above from the reference you are on at the time and turn to this reference. Okay, so basically it's telling me that if find gate to Mars Netherworld, deduct 192 from reference. Okay. It's quite a cryptic one, this. Actually, I heard today, earlier today, I read something somebody mentioned on the Fighting Fantasy forum, and they said that Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone both, they got lots of feedback from people saying that the books were too easy, and unfortunately they tried to pander to this audience who thought they were too easy by making them harder, but not always in nice ways, Ian Livingstone. But Steve Jackson, when he wrote this book, he thought, oh, I'll make it really hard because that's what people want. And some people thought it was too hard. So yeah, he may have gone a bit far on this one, but it is quite challenging. I like it anyway. Okay. Okay, so where were we? So we were deducting 192 from the reference. Okay. And then it says, if you are correct, you will meet the necromancer. Okay, so so yeah, yes, you only meet Jared Anmar if you actually destroy the gate. Okay. For having the good fortune to find this parchment, you may restore your luck score to its initial level. Well, my luck was already on the initial, so that's fine. Right. That's 192. I'll just put down a number of the paragraph in which I read this in case I need to look it up again. But I probably should have transcribed these ones, but so I don't have to read them slowly every time. But yeah. Okay, so now I have another clue. So that's another clue there. So that's clue, and that is let's see, portal -192. And then it says, after you have studied it for some time, you leave the room. Will you leave through the door in the east wall or the door in the south wall? Let's see. So that is 450 or... But now I'm a little bit unsure now where to go because, I mean, I certainly have got those clues now that I couldn't read before, but all I know exists further up here are dead ends. And I can't remember for sure. I know there are some writing here because I went past this bit and I get through, but then I am unsure. Then I sort of get to this. Okay, so because there are some secret passages. One of them leads to death, and the other one leads to this mine area. And I have no idea which is where I'm supposed to go now, because I still haven't got any clues that conclusively leads me to know where I'm supposed to go next. Or maybe I'm supposed to sort of know where to find the Netherworld's portal. So I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering if I've already been in the right place. If there is one location I've already been to, which is the one where I'm supposed to subtract 192? I don't know. I know there is a sign. There is a sign saying something up at the mines. I'm just going to skip ahead now because I'm going to play a bit pragmatically because I don't want to keep going around in the same circles I've done before. I'm just going to see if I can find out, based on what I've already technically know, where I'm supposed to go now. So when you go through the secret passage, which is the one of the ones you open with your amulet, there is a sign here at 79 which says Yellowstone Mines this way. Okay, that's not very useful. Was there somebody I was able to talk to though in the mines? I mean, because it does put you to work. If you meet the miners and they just sort of what is it? Okay, it's unlucky. 425, 313. Because I'm going to check this bit here because that's where the mines are, just to see if there are anything I've missed that will help me. I don't know where I'm going from here now. Let's see, because that's the 23273. Must be somewhere. Because was it here that you get captured by the miners and you are set to work in the mines? I'm just wondering if that's where your the solution is, and if it isn't, I have no idea where to go. That doesn't work either. So where am I to go? Is it one of the dead ends? Is it that is actually so I'm wondering if one of the dead ends I found, if that is where I'm actually supposed to subtract 192. That's what I'm thinking, actually. I'm just wondering. Where that could be now. And I'm thinking the only option I can think of actually that makes sense is because there is this place where you meet this creature that sort of lures you, and I'm wondering because there were some different arches there, and wasn't there one of the people I spoke to? They spoke of the what do they call it? There's this kind of glittery kind of creature that kills you when you get there. I'm just wondering if that's also the location of the way out. But then that's a place you get to without using your amulet. Isn't it? Oh, hang on. Where did this come from? 300. Leave. I think I'm just going to head up that way and just see if I can figure out something. I'm sort of suspecting that because I can't. This doesn't seem the mine bit doesn't seem to have anything in it. This bit doesn't really seem to be the right place to me. I'm just thinking about the arch and where you have that. I'm just going to go up that way now and see if I can figure out something. So okay, so I'm leaving the room with the parchments now. I'm sorry if this is taking a bit of time. Let's see, I'll just have to restart my camera there as well. But I sort of this is a puzzle. This is a proper puzzle of a book, a lot more than any other ones, and it's not. It's a little bit trickier to know where you're supposed to go, I guess, which is a good thing. I quite like that. Because for me, this is, of course, it's the puzzle of finding the way that is the challenge, and in this one, it seems harder than the other ones. So I'm leaving the place where I got information about the portal, and I'm turning back where I came from and go to 450, and it says you leave the room and find yourself once more in the east-west passageway you entered from. You remember the noises you heard behind the door ahead to the east, but there is no other way forward. The door is locked, so you must once again charge it. Turn to 263. So I'm going to go to 263. The door shudders under your charge, but does not open. Lose 1 stamina point. Okay, I'll have to do that now. Let's see. So let's put it down here. 21. You try again. Let's see. Oh, hang on. You try again, and this time the bolt is torn from the frame. The door flies open, and you step inside the room, ready for the creature inside. The room itself has a door in each wall. Scattered around one corner is an untidy pile of bones. In another corner is a half-eaten human carcass. Standing over the carcass, and evidently annoyed that its meal has been disturbed, is a bulky creature with a hairy face, razor-sharp teeth, and wild eyes. As you enter, it turns to attack you, and you must resolve your battle with the manic beast. Okay, so we have 11, 21. The beast has 7, 8, so I've got a 4 skill point advantage. He rolls 3, I roll 5. That's 1 time. He rolls 9, I roll 6 twice. 3, 9, 3 times, and 6, 5. He is dead. The manic beast is so cold for its tremendous. Oh, hang on. I keep forgetting to read the whole thing before starting the fight. Always read the whole paragraph before you start fighting. I'm just going to do that again now. Each time you inflict a wound on the manic beast, its anger will rise for the next attack round, and you must add 2 to the dice roll when it rolls for attack strength. Okay. So he rolls 2, I roll 10. I hit him, but then he gets enraged. And that means he's now got a skill of 9, effectively. He rolls 5, I roll 3, which means that it's a draw, actually. And then his strength is back to normal again because I didn't hit him that round. So 7 and 9. So I hit him again. He gets enraged. He's down to 4, by the way. And then he rolls 9, I roll 4, so then he hits me. And now he's back to normal. He rolls 6, I roll 9. So he is enraged again. He rolls 5, I roll 9, and so I kill him. There we are. That's the correct way to do it. If you defeat the manic beast, turn to 209. I think I made the mistake every time I fought this guy that I didn't read the whole paragraph, and so I didn't do it correctly. Okay. You may, if you wish, regain your strength by waiting for a few moments in the room before continuing. You can pass the time by feasting on either of the dead creatures, which looks the tastiest, the manic beast, the human, or will you ignore the food or simply leave the room? Let's see, where are we now? I am in the not that place. Let's see, what have I done here before? Haven't really made a good note of what happens when you eat the different ones. And I have lost 4 stamina, so it might be worth eating, I suppose. Well, let's try eating the manic beast, see what happens now. The manic beast's meat is a little bitter for your liking, but it provides a satisfying meal. You may add 4 stamina points, so that is plus 4 stamina, and that's what I need to go back to initial, so that's fine by me. Then turn to 165. Oh, hang on. Did I say 165? 231. That can't be right. I don't know where. Well, I looked at the wrong paragraph, the one above me. I'm going to 293. Because suddenly I found a paragraph where I'm supposed to roll a die to decide where I'm going next. And that I was thinking that's like in the beginning before I have free will. That's not going to happen now, is it? You leave the room through a door in the east wall. The door opens into a dingy corridor, which is quite short and ends at... Did I actually refocus after I started my camera again? I don't think I did that. Okay, that should be okay then. When you listen at the door, you can hear conversation rising and falling in pitch as if 2 or 3 creatures or humans were locked into a long discussion. This is your only way onwards. Would you try the door and attempt to creep slowly into the room? Or would you attempt to surprise whatever is inside by charging into the room with claws drawn? Now, this is where you have that strange creature that is mimicking sound and voices, trying to lure you. So I have to be a bit careful now. Let's see, that's this page here. I'm trying creeping into the room now. I've only been here once before, so there we are. You carefully try the door. It creaks on its hinges, but opens easily, allowing you into the room. You are ready for the creatures inside and hope to surprise them, but when you enter, it is you who are surprised at what you see. Turn to 161. The room is roughly circular, with doors in the north, south, and west walls. Around the walls, in between the doors, are dark arches, a total of 6, which are large enough for you to enter. And this is what I was thinking. Maybe one of these arches is the portal that was mentioned in the scroll. It's the only sort of place I can think of now that seems logically to be portal-like. And there was a mention of... Who was it that mentioned the... Hang on. I'll just have to look up the clue again now. Was it the wizard? I'll just go back to 200 now. See if it was him who mentioned the Chatamata. Yeah, okay. So if we go back to, if you remember the old man I found who had the silver ring. So I can lead you straight to the undead keeper if you will lead me, if you see what I mean. We must travel east until we reach the lair of the Chatamata, and that's here. But ignore his prattle, for he seeks only to feed on your flesh. North then we must travel to reach Daramus. I can help you slay him with this. So this is the right place, according to the clue. This creature that's creating the voices is the Chatamata. That's the name of it. So I am in the right place. I hope. I just have to ignore the speaking of the Chatamata. Okay, so Where was I? Okay, so I went to 161. Yes, the room is roughly circular with doors in the north, south, and west walls. Around the walls, in between the doors, are dark arches, a total of 6, which are large enough for you to enter. But from your position, it is impossible to know how deep they are. The voices which you heard earlier have stopped, as if your entrance has surprised whoever or whatever was talking. There is no sign of any living creature in the room. You step into the center and you are startled when the door slams shut behind you. You must now decide what to do. Will you leave the room through one of the doors or stay to investigate the room further? So I need to investigate the room further. Yes. I think this is where, if you leave the room, yeah, I can't remember exactly what happens now, but nothing good, I think. You glance from arch to arch, trying to decide whether to investigate them. The stillness is unnerving. Whatever happened to the voices you heard? As if in answer to your question, a sound drifts out from one of the alcoves. Let's see. PVF. Over here. Come. Over here. If you want to learn of great riches in this, no, in these parts. Do you not understand the human tongue? Of RHBP. Perhaps then you speak the troll language. And then I suppose this is the troll language following now, so that's different. So that's a different language. And what about this? Is that better? Okay, so this is when he sort of starts talking the language that the beast speaks before you understand the human language. Ah, yes, I can tell you understand me. Look, I can help you. Maybe you would like me to direct you to a tasty morsel, 2 fat hobbits, or shall I tell you about he who knows all your secrets? I speak, of course, of Jaradan Ma. Come, talk to me. You are stunned to silence by the voice speaking to you in your own tongue. It is inviting you towards one of the arches. Will you enter and speak to the being within, or are you suspicious of this strained voice? If you enter the arch and talk to the owner of the voice, turn to 323. If you wish to leave, turn to 405. So it looks like I can still go into the arch there before I go somewhere else. Let's try that. You are intrigued by the voice and find yourself strangely attracted to it. It guides you towards one of the central arches in the east wall. Come closer, so I may speak to you in private. No, not that arch. This one. That's right. Have no fear. I will tell you of the all-knowing one and tell you where you will find some juicy hobbits. Just a little further. It is so long since I have enjoyed company, and I do so love to find out what happens in the outside world. You pass through the arch and look around. When your eyes have adjusted to the light, you can see that you are standing in a short tunnel which ends several paces ahead in a dead end. There are no glowstones, but a glistening sheen covers the ceiling. At the end of the short passage is a shape which you can just make out. It appears to be human, sitting on the floor and leaning against the wall, a tattered cowl over its head. A leather flagon stands at its feet. Come closer, says the voice. My hearing is not good. Can I offer you a drink? Will you approach the figure, or will you try another arch? Now, so this is where I was told to go, and now I'm supposed to ignore his talk, so now I have to go to another arch. And is that where I'm supposed to go? Let's find out. So I'm going to go to 220. You are suspicious of this mysterious figure. You back out of the arch and poke your head into the one next to it. This one is also dark, but from somewhere in the darkness you can see a faint glittering, as if tiny raindrops are sparkling as they fall. You cautiously step in to investigate. You reach a pile of rubble lying on the ground. Stones are scattered about as if from a wall which has recently collapsed. You could easily cross the rubble and make for the twinkling lights. While you are considering whether or not to do so, a crash is followed by a shower of dust as a rock falls from the ceiling. Will you climb through regardless to investigate the glittering lights, or will you leave this alcove and try another one? So I'm just wondering, is this where I'm supposed to be? I mean, the portal wouldn't be a sort of a physical one, so am I supposed to go on, or am I supposed to look for the entrance to the Netherworld right here? So I'm supposed to subtract, wasn't it? Subtract 192. And if I go to 56 or 85, that won't happen. So, but I can subtract 192 from 220, which is 28. I'll have a look. If it doesn't make any sense, I'll just this is where I want to look now. So just if it doesn't make any sense, then I know I'm in the wrong place. It says, if you picked up a crystal club during your adventure, you will have been given a reference number to turn to should you wish to use it. Do not turn to this number now, but instead add it to the number of this reference. Turn to the reference corresponding to this total. So that sounds promising. Is that meant to be there? I'll just put this in pencil now. So that means that we have 28 leading to, and the crystal club has a reference of 333. So 333 plus 28 is 361. Let's go to 361 and see if that still fits. You pick up your club and step towards the mirror. What mirror? Was there a mirror? You pick up your club and step towards the mirror. When Jaradan Mar sees your weapon, his confident manner becomes a little nervous. I haven't met Jaradan Mar yet, have I? But the numbers fit. Is this like a sort of a... Are there two ways to meet him? Because that feels like a continuity error now. That can't be right. Well, that can't be right at all, can it? No, that can't be right, surely. But it's sort of a kind of a strange fluke now that this actually leads to 460. I can't imagine that is supposed to be the way to end it now. Let's see what else we can do from 220 now. Let's see, I'll just put these in big brackets now because that seems very weird that that should be the correct way to go. So I'm at 220 and I'm given two options. Investigate the glittering lights, 56, or leave the alcove. So we have leave, 85 and 56. Okay. I'll just save my game now and I'll investigate the glittering lights because usually that's not a good thing. It could be more chatter matter. You climb through the hole in the wall and hold your breath as you step through the cloud of settling dust. The area is not much deeper, and when you reach its end, you discover what the glittering is. From high in the ceiling, a powdery trickle of elven dust is falling through the air. It drops gracefully down from the ceiling, glittering as it falls. But by the time it reaches the ground, it has disappeared. The magical dust is showering you as you stand looking up at it. Though you can feel nothing, elven dust is a magical powder which is an essential ingredient in white elven magic. Though its effects may remain a mystery to you in the immediate future, you may well wonder about the significance of your find. Someone has been trying to wall the elven dust in. Why? Eventually you decide to leave the recess and the chamber. Okay, so elven dust. Okay. Which may be a beneficial thing, but I'm going to check out the other, go to 85 as well. You turn around and pass through the arch. There are 4 others in the chamber. You choose another and peer into its gloomy depths. You can see nothing. You pluck up courage, step inside and feel around. It appears to be empty. Your hand touches a rocky wall at the back of the alcove. There is no point in investigating it further. The other alcoves are similar and you decide to leave the chamber. Turn to 405. Okay, so we're past that now. So I'm going to keep going now and see if there is anywhere where I can actually find this. Because it was past the chatter matter, so... And I was really hoping it would be this arch, and it fit the numbers almost, except suddenly we've met Jared Anmar without meeting him, and there's a mirror we don't know about. So, yeah. I'll just have to keep trying doing that deduct 192, I think, because, well, the thing is, it doesn't matter if you do it too many times, I guess. If it doesn't make any sense, then you just don't go there. Excuse me. So, so that is what, 213. No, that's not it. So these now both lead to 405. Then we have a few different doors. Now I've made a note now that the south wall is a dead, or is something that you shouldn't do, but I was going to check what it was, just for, see if I can remember. Okay, that's one of those pools of darkness that seem to kill you. The blackmouth floor trap. So I haven't. Have I tried for? Okay. I'm gonna try the west wall. See, that sends me back again to this room. You step up to the door in the west wall and tug at the handle. The door will not budge. You grunt in anger, take a step back and prepare to smash the door. But the door is stronger than you thought. You nurse your sore shoulder for a few moments, lose 1 stamina point, and then return to the center of the room. So that is -1 stamina, and that doesn't do any good at all. So I'm just going to put a red on that too. Which leaves 300. Let's see. The door opens into a narrow passageway heading north, and glowstones flicker on to light your way. Unlike the other passageways you have been traveling along, this one has a cobbled floor. The cobblestones feel smooth and pleasant for your great feet to walk on, but you cannot ignore a feeling of apprehension, since the stones must have been laid by an organized and intelligent creature. You follow the passage for a short while until suddenly a loud clang sounds behind you and stops you dead in your tracks. You wheel round to find that the heavy portcullis has dropped behind you and sealed off the passage. You step back to test it, but the bars are much too strong for you to smash or even bend. You have no choice. You turn round and continue north up the corridor. A little further ahead you reach a crossroads. The glowstones light up 3 ways onwards, but you cannot see very far down the passage. Will you continue northwards, try the passage to the east, or try the passage to the west? And this is, interestingly, exactly the same place you get through that secret passage. No, it's not. This is not where you get through the secret passage. This is where you get to the secret passage. I presume, I mean, I do get the impression that you are meant to go through the secret passage, that is part of the puzzle, because I've been hearing that one of the things that was sort of broken about this game was that there was a secret passage here, but you weren't able to go through it because it wasn't the right reference to the clue of the amulet, and that was an error. So the question remains, what is there beyond this point that I'm supposed to do? Because I haven't found anything, unless could it be that the secret way out, the secret location of the entrance to the underworld is actually going to be, it must be up here then. There's no other way now. It has to be here. There must be something up in this section of the map that I missed or that I didn't know about. So I think I'll just go through that again now, because I need to find the correct reference where I can look for the portal. So, right, so that means that I am now going to go west, is it? Yes, 213. You reach a dead end. The light is dim and it is difficult to see, so you grope around for a possible way onwards. There is none to be found. Turn round and return to the crossroads. But this is where, if you add 20, which means you use the amulet, I'm going to go to 233 now. While you are groping around the end of the passageway, you suddenly notice a slight humming coming from your pendant. It is vibrating, and as you move towards one particular spot, the vibration becomes stronger. You grasp the talisman and watch as the blue stone begins to glow. Finally, a beam of blue light shoots from the pendant and lights up an area of rocky wall. You feel around the area and your hand comes to rest on a small hidden catch. When you flick the catch, the dead end before you comes to life. Smoke hisses from the crevices around the wall, forcing you to step away from it. When the smoke clears, a gap has appeared in the rock face. An eerie green light lights up a narrow passage beyond. Will you step through and explore the secret passage? If so, turn to 369. Or would you rather return to the crossroads? So I'm going to go through now. 369. You step into the passage and your eyes adjust to the green light. You breathe cautiously as you progress, but it seems that the smoke is not harmful, though it smells a little pungent. The passage leads after... Hang on. Just have to check something now. Yeah, no. The passage leads after only a few paces to impenetrable blackness. Not even the green light is penetrating the dark. Your eyes strain to see anything of the surrounding surroundings, but without success. Suddenly, a light flickers to your left. Oh, there's something something talking here. A small flame lights up something. It is a human face. The face is motionless. I've forgotten about these ones, of course. This might be the clue I'm looking for, because now there is speech. This is definitely going to be the clue I need to get onwards. Okay, so eventually there are 4 faces, all dimly lit around the chamber. An instant later, their eyes and mouths flick open wide, and the silence is broken by a sharp voice which cuts through the darkness. The effect is terrifying. Your progress has been watched. Has been watched. Foul creature of destruction. Your progress has been watched. Foul creature of destruction. So far, you have done well. Though you know not why or what. But you have caused to you have caused 2 of the vapors to be lost. Jaradan Ma himself has decreed your destiny. You shall remain in his dungeon and do my bidding. For I am Daramus. Aha. Your master. Daramus. Yeah, so this is where some of my magic items come into it, but I'll just read the rest now. If you can understand him, turn to reference 90. Okay, so secret reference, let's see, where are we now? We are on 369, so there is a secret, again, secret reference 90. Let's see read the rest now. Your first order is this. Report for duty at the Yellowstone mines. Leave now and head there immediately. I will be watching. Okay, so it tells you to go to the mines and report for duty, which means that's where you will remain for your entire life. But, I can read this, so that means I can go to 90. So I need to defeat Daramus, I suppose, now. You growl defiantly at the voice. The four lights flicker and extinguish. Almost immediately, a background luminosity begins to light up the area, and you can see where you are. The room you're in is large and appears to be quite important, judging by the rich drapes and gilt-framed paintings which hang on the walls. The scenes depicted in the paintings seem to be of hell itself. The four faces you saw are elaborate carvings in a soft clay-like material. Standing before you is a tall, gruesome creature, dressed in a flowing black cape. Two red eyes shine out from the depths of its hood. Daramus turns to speak to you. You are a recent arrival in these dungeons, he says. You are a fine specimen and are a credit to your creator, Jaradan Ma. Yes, this is so. You have been created by Ma. And his physician, Quimmelbone. And created by Ma and created for a purpose. Jaradan Ma and his physician, Quimmelbone, are obsessed with Maranga, the reformation of life. They continually experiment with the effects of potions and spells on creatures. Some they merely transform from one type into another, others they create from preserved organs. Their experiments are not always successful, but when when one does succeed, it is sent to me here for observation before its future is finally decided. A future has been decided for you, though I know not what it is. This is of no concern to me, but your immediate duty is my concern. You must be put to work in the Yellowstone mines, but I will offer you one other alternative. If you do not wish to work in the mines until Ma calls for you, you may choose another future for yourself. Death. Well, free will, there you go. Death or working yourself to death. Tough choice. Okay. His final word turns into a chilling laugh which resounds around the room. You set your teeth and glare at the creature. You will not be ordered what to do. I take it, then, that you choose my second alternative, he says, opening a book on the desk. He begins to read something from it aloud. Would you step over and grab him by his neck? Wait to see what happens, or try to escape down the secret passage. So, grab was the keyword, so I am told that when I get the option of grab, I should add 50 to use my silver ring. So, I presume that means now. And 90 plus 50 is 140. See what happens. So, and that means I can put in here, let's see, just secret number 140, but also I'll just put in the actual visible options as well. So there are 3 of those. 402, 286, and 384. Okay, so 140 it is, and this says here, you remember the words of the blind wizard, Hannikus, and you hold up the silver ring before Daramus. What is it? What sort of gesture is... The ring of holy blessing. Where did you get that? Give it to me, this instant. His sunken eyes narrow, and his gaze becomes fierce and pierces deep into your eyes. For a moment you feel him entering your will, and your hand extends the ring towards him. His hand reaches out to take it from you. But suddenly you manage to break out of your trance. You step over to the wall and crush the ring's large bulbous stone against it. The creature behind the desk shrieks as the stone shatters, and a sweet-smelling gas fills the air. Daramus steps back against the north wall and thumps a panel in the wall with his hand. Almost immediately, the wall draws aside and reveals a secret passageway. He takes a step towards the passage, but it is too late. The perfumed aroma has entered his body. Daramus drops to his knees, clutching his throat. He topples over backwards and sprawls lifeless before you. You have killed the foul creature. You may now choose your next direction through one of two secret passageways. Will you head to the west or the north? Okay, so west is the same as going where I've gone before. So that is back to the mines. So the new option here is secret passage 184, and that's the one I need to go on. So that's 184. And I think I will actually do, let's see, 184. I'm going to put that up there, but 184. I'm going to just do a new page of map now for 184 onwards. 184. Let's see what happens next. You are glad to be out of the room and away from the vile creature. You take long strides and follow the passage north. It turns to the west, and your nose twitches as the foul smell of sewage at the foul smell of sewage. So it's back to the river again, I suppose. A strong wooden bridge takes you across the stinking bilge water. You are forced to hold your breath as you cross, but on the other side you quickly leave. This is not the same as I've been before. No. But you quickly leave the filthy river, and the passageway turns once more to the north. You arrive at a heavy door carved out of the rock, which blocks the way onwards. As you are considering what to do, the door opens. A burly, dark-skinned human stands in the doorway. His face is badly scarred, and one of his eyes is half closed. His lips curl back in a sneer which shows his few dirty teeth. Well, he asks, what is it? Has Daramus sent you? Have you permission to leave Mars dungeons? Come on, where's your tongue? So I suppose now that you know how to speak and you cannot get past this point without knowing how to speak, everything will be translated from now on, which will be helpful. Have you permission to leave Mars dungeons? Come on, where's your tongue? Will you nod to let him know you have been allowed to leave by Daramus? Will you play stupid and see what he does next, or will you grab him in your claws and do battle? Okay. So, whatever happens next, I think this is probably now where the point where I will have to start over again if I need to start over now. Let's see. So 3, 169, 73, 169. Haven't I seen 169 before? I'm sure I've seen 169 before. Am I just imagining things? The thing about these numbers is you might sort of feel sometimes you recognize a number and you know you've seen it before, but it may be that you just remember it very vividly for some reason from another book. And usually I have these feelings. I usually get them when there are numbers that I have that are very sort of pivotal paragraphs from Warlock of Firetop Mountain, because I remember a lot of those numbers. When I see them again, I sort of remember the number together with what happened sometimes. 169, has that something to do with the Minotaur in Warlock of Firetop Mountain? Is it? I'll check some other time. Right. I would reach around for Warlock of Firetop Mountain now, but of course I got a green screen behind me, which is in my way. Yeah. Okay. So my options are. Let's see, where are we now? So nod. So nod. Stupid. Or grab. Okay, so I'm gonna nod. I'm just going to try to nod and say, yeah, I'm off. He eyes you suspiciously. Is that so? Well, no doubt he gave you the gesture too. Come on then, let's have it. What will your gesture be? Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a guess. It would not surprise me if there is a clue to what I'm supposed to do here. So cross circle, and none. I think this is one of those things where you are sort of trying to gate crash a secret society meeting, and somebody asks you what's the password, and you say the password, and of course the trick is that there is no password, that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm going to say there is no gesture. No gesture? Daramus gave you no gesture? The guard is incredulous. You shrug as if to say that you did not see Daramus, but Daramus is always in his chamber. Look, wait here for a moment. I must check his room. The guard grabs the club and rushes off down the passage, leaving you on your own. Will you keep your word and remain where you are until he returns, or will you step into his room and look for a way out? Well, it seems makes more sense, doesn't it, to look for a way out. And well, it is possible, of course, that being the gatekeeper, that there is actually no way that I can. I'm just wondering that. What was the other thing again? I'm just going to check now. Just the other clue now. What was that again? That was the testing grounds. Yeah. So. Okay. No, that's not it. Okay, so where was I? So I said there was no symbol 437, and that gives me two options now. I'm just going to move them up a little bit on my map so I don't get too cramped down here. So 54, look, or 38, wait obediently. I'm not going to wait obediently. Thank you very much. 54. You wait until the guard has disappeared around the corner and sneak into his room. It is dirty and untidy, old food moulders in corners. The bed is filthy and dirty blankets are strewn about on the floor. And there is a small smell hanging in the air, which is a mixture of stale human sweat and rancid ale. On the far side of the room is a metal door. A barred viewing hole is open, and through the hole. Why is it that all these all sort of evil creatures have all these sort of smelly, stinky, filthy places, and they wear sort of ragged, dirty clothes and stuff? I mean, even evil people, probably even more so than good people, actually have time to do some personal hygiene and do washing and cleaning and stuff. Surely. A barred viewing hole is open, and through the hole you can see stairs beyond, leading upwards. Suddenly, a noise from behind startles you, and you swing round just in time to see a huge wooden club descending on your forehead. The blow knocks you to your knees, and you must lose 4 stamina points. So that is -4 stamina. Just as I thought, growls the guard. Daramus no more gave you permission to leave than he would have given permission to the black-eyed fool. Your ruse has been discovered. His club is raised once more, and you must defend yourself. Turn to 98. So I have to fight him after all. 98. I'm sure there is a way out of there. I'm sure cross is actually the correct gesture, by the way, because the Rhino Man said, "Do not cross him." So we've actually been given a clue, or a hint rather, for cross. Cross is a symbol we've given a hint for. 98. So resolve your combat with the dark-skinned guard. 9 and 10. So 9, 10, and 3, 4, 9 if I win. So right, we have a 9, 10. I have to hit him 5 times maybe. He rolls a 6. I roll a 4. That is a draw. He rolls 10. I roll 6. I'm down to 21. He rolls 6. I roll 8. He's down to 8. He rolls 6. I roll 7. He rolls 9. I roll 6. 6, 5. Every time I do this now, every time this game, I roll the doubles for my opponents all the time. That was a draw, wasn't it? Yeah. 5, 8, 6, 8, and he is dead. There we are. 349. Okay, so 349. The guard lies dead on the ground and you step back to catch your breath. You may feast on the guard's body, but if you do, you will gain only 3 stamina points, for his taste is not to your liking. That's all right. Plus 3 stamina. Who needs provisions? Who needs food, do they? There's just food everywhere. The way onwards seems to be through the metal door in the wall opposite the entrance. You step up and try it. It is locked. You strain to see through the small barred viewing hole set in the door. You can see a stone stairway leading upwards, and a soft, cool wind caresses your cheek. Will you look for the key to the lock or try to break down the door? I'm going to look for the key because this door doesn't seem like it's one that would be breakable. Excuse me. So we have 112 key or 128 break. So I'm going to find the key 112. Alas, this choice will do you no good. Having never come across keys or locks before, you have no way of knowing what the key would look like or what you should do with it. In any case, your large, clumsy fingers could never manage to insert a small key and turn it. Unless you wish to try battering the door down, you have reached the end of your journey. So, well, there we go. I've been told 128 keys, not for me. Okay. You charge into the door. It clangs loudly but does not budge. This only angers you even further when you try again, but once more the door shows no sign of weakening. You, on the other hand, have hurt your arm and must lose 1 stamina point. So, if you wish to keep trying, turn to 150. Otherwise, you may look for a key. And we know that doesn't work, so I have to keep trying. There's no other way. Okay, 150. Or does that mean that you can't get out unless you know the gesture, I suppose? You try. Oh, it's another endless loop. It's another endless loop, just like the Chaos Warriors. You try beating the door with your fist. It has been specially made to withstand batterings of this sort, and all you succeed in doing is injuring your hands. Lose 1 stamina point. If you wish to continue trying to break down the door, turn to 398. That is a different paragraph, though. But I think I'm sensing an endless loop here now. So let's see. -1 stamina, -1 stamina. 398. Okay, I'm just going to keep going until I see that there's no. If this is an endless loop, that means you have to. And then you turn to 128. Yes, I was right. There's an endless loop. An endless loop -1 stamina every way. Okay, so that means that in order to progress from here, I will probably have to find the gesture. And there was a hint. The word cross was mentioned in the same context as Daramus. I'm thinking cross must be the right gesture. Yes. No. No. So what is it then? Is there actually a way out? 22. There must be a way out. There must be a way out. Is there a way out? This is not a dead end. Is this another dead end? I mean, seriously, how many dead ends are there? I just had a look now. It doesn't seem like there's any way to get past this. Oh. Oh, yes. There is a way past. Okay, at least I think so. There's an indication of it in one of the paragraphs. Okay, so next time I'm going to start from the point here where I am about to leave, probably. Or should I'll just keep, since I sort of know what I'm about to do now. Okay, so it seems that the only thing that works here is to actually play dumb. So I'm going to go, everything else leads to exactly the same result. You end up in this endless loop of not being able to get out of the door. So, but if you play dumb, no, hang on. No, okay, so yeah, when he goes to check on Daramus, sorry, not playing dumb, that's the wrong thing to do. When you go and what I did earlier, instead of going into the guard room, I wait and see for him to come back. And I go to paragraph 38. And this is what happened. So eventually the guard returns, panting. It seems you were right, he shrugs. There's no sign of him anywhere. Mind you, I can't let you through here. No one's allowed through without Daramus's permission. At least not unless certain special arrangements can be made. If you understand my meaning. He looks at the pendant hanging around your neck. That's a handsome little piece, he says. Now, I'm sure special arrangements could be made if you were to leave this behind. Just our, shall we say, a bond to make sure you return, and mine to keep if you don't. If you wish to give him your pendant, he will let you through his guard room, but you may never again find secret passages without it. Make your choice. If you will pay his price, turn to 442. If this price is too high, doing a bit of blackmail there on you, sort of trying to trick you into not giving him your pendant. It looks to me like this is the only way onwards, to give him the pendant. So, and you can choose to attack him, which I think is going to result in exactly the same loop here, of course, because if you attack him, you still can't find the key, you still can't get out, you still try to bash down the door, and you get 1 stamina down every single time until you die, basically. So, there you go. Oh. Right, so that was my memory card being full there, actually, so my camera cut out. Okay, so basically, if you don't give him the pendant, it seems that you will get caught in this sort of endless loop of getting 1 stamina point of damage every time you try to bash down the door. If you look for the keys, you can't find them, you have to bash down the door, and you're basically just stuck there. So that's the end of it. The only way onwards, as far as I can tell, is to give up your prized possession, your pendant, which have actually saved you twice, or at least given you 2 important things, which probably means it's done its job. So you want to give him the pendant, it seems, and then you can go on. So 442 pendant. So I am going to go to 442. There we are. The guard draws a bunch of keys out of his pocket and opens the metal door to let you through. You grunt in thanks and begin climbing the steps. At the top, you find yourself in a cold stone-walled room with a large stone platform in its center. Carvings and symbols decorate the platform, which is lit up by a beam of light from a crack in the ceiling. You edge round the room until you reach a door, which you shove open. A sight which greets you makes your eyes open wide. Space. You have escaped from the dungeon and have emerged into cool night air. Slowly you survey the landscape, your mind filled with wonder at the space all around. I would have thought you got really agoraphobic, though, from this. You appear to be standing in an open field in which stones have been fixed in regular rows. Some lie down flat on the ground and some are standing up. To your left, near the edge of this field, is a large building with a tall pointed roof. On the other side, to the right, is a wood, and the path leads straight into the wood from where you are now. Overhead, a huge white orb hangs in the sky, giving some light. But this light dwindles when great smoky masses drift across in front of it. You are overawed by your new environment, and surely your eyes would hurt like hell. I mean, seriously, if you see sunlight after being underground your entire life. Would you like to investigate some of the stones? Would you like to look around the old building, or would you like to leave this area? Okay, so I think this is where I think our most natural place for us now to leave off in this episode, and I'll continue next time. So 442 is where we continue, and this is where we get out into the open. So this is open into the open, and I think that's going to be quite an interesting thing, because this is now going into what I would probably consider the second part of the book, I guess, is where this starts, the outside world. And the things I know, I'm supposed to go to the testing grounds to deliver a message. That's all I've got. And then we'll take it from there. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens next. Yeah, and I know how to deal with Jared and Ma when I get to him, so ish. I sort of know I have to use my magic crystal club. So yeah, right. I think that's it. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this journey, even though it's a little bit confusing now when I'm sort of struggling a little bit to make head and tail of all these dead ends and try to find out where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to do. But the puzzle of this book is on a completely different level to any others that have come before, and I'm sure most of the ones that come after as well. It may be the sort of the pinnacle of puzzleness as far as fighting fantasy is concerned, and I'm really going to enjoy doing the next one. I'm sure there will be no more gibberish for me to translate now, because now you cannot get to this point without having met the vapor of the tongues and got your speech. You have free will, you have language. You know there is a vapor of magic somewhere. Of course, that's not for you to have, probably. That's for you to return to the elves, most likely. And I don't know, maybe it is. But you now have to go and eventually, literally, meet your maker and hopefully kill him. So we'll see what happens next, and I will see you then. So thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.